Hello and welcome to the next update of my Mets Realm theme team update series, and this is the end of season update of season 27 of my out of the park baseball perfect team Mets Realm theme team. Only picking cars with the Mets logo on them. So if you're new to the series, what I do is I update my team and I hide the scores, and then I show you the standings afterwards. So I realize it's not, the settings that I wanted to use are not quite tight as I want it to be. So I'm going to try to hide it as I go along, but I usually don't go over my record until the end of the episode. So I'm going to give you my stats, and then you can guess where I ended up. So the last update I ended at the end of July, and yeah, I was not doing too great. I was like 9 or 10 games under 500, and it was looking like an uphill battle, but I was still under 10 games back. I think it was maybe like 6, 7, or 8, something like that. Behind the first place division, so it wasn't out of the question, and I had made a lot of changes to my lineup. So now that the season is over, let's see how it ended up. So let's go to Bobby Ojeda, who finished the season with a 4.41 ERA. Not too great. Not too great. So let's go to the log here. Let's see. So I finished around end of July. End of July, he finished giving up 4 earned runs with an ERA of 4.21. And then in August, he started with a 0. Then he gave up 2, then 8 earned runs on August 14th, which ballooned his ERA to 4.33 from 3.92, and then gave up 4 runs and then 6 runs, and that was August 25th. So at that point, I was not confident in Ojeda, and actually, I do remember, maybe it was, I don't know if I had it in the last update, but I had moved Ojeda. I think I was planning on moving Ojeda down in the rotation, but I never ended up doing it. But this was not a great end of season, and so he had started August 31st with a 4.5 ERA. Then he gave up 2 earned runs again, then 5, then 3, then 4, then 3, then 0. So he wasn't pitching like an ace like I wanted him to be. So he ended the season with a 4.41 ERA. So let's go back. And then we got Jose Quintana with a 4.18 ERA. Pitched pretty well for most of the season. So his ERA actually, he finished with 11 wins, 13 losses. He actually finished with a bigger ERA than I thought he was going to do, because he did pretty well for the most part. So let's go see where he went wrong. So at the end of July, let's see. He gave up 5 earned runs. I mean, at the end of, on August 4th, he gave up 5 earned runs, putting his ERA at 4.03. And then he had a string of decent starts with 0, 2, 2, 2, 2, beginning September, on September 1st, and that put his ERA at 3.68. And I was really happy to see that. As you can see, a lot of green, meaning wins. But then he ended the season with 4 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 4 earned runs. And as you can see, he got 5 straight losses for a 4.18 ERA to end the season. So not that good of an ending. And maybe it was a mistake for me to move him up in the rotation. I moved him up to second. So, yeah, not too good, not too good. Now we go to Frank Viola. Finished the season with 15 wins, 10 losses, and a 3.14 ERA. Pretty good. Much better than I thought it would be. He actually started off bad and ended much better. So let's take a look. So on July, so from July 14th, he put up a 0. And then he put up 2 on 2 earned runs July 25th. And then July 30th, he gave up 1 earned run and a lot of green. You can see there's a lot of green. He won all those games for us. So you can take a guess of what our record might be at the end of the season based on all that green and red you see on that column with my pitching. So from August 5th, he gave up a 0, 0, 0, 3 straight zeros, which was great. And then on August 22nd, he gave up 7 earned runs, which made his ERA go from 3.01 to 3.35. Then he followed that up with a 0, then a 4, and then he finished pretty good with giving up 3 earned runs, 2, 2, 2, and then 1, making his season 15 wins, 10 losses, and a 3.14 ERA. So he started off, actually, he started off better than maybe I gave him credit for. Although he had a few 7 earned run spots in the beginning, and that kind of ballooned his ERA. But I would say he's been pretty good for me. So maybe I'll put him in the number 1 spot of the rotation for the following season. We'll see. So let's go back to Ron Darling. Pitching pretty well for me. Ended with 10 wins, 14 losses, and a 3.59 ERA. So let's check out his stat line. See his game log. So at the end of July, on July 31st, he put up 7 2/3 innings and 1 earned run. And his ERA was 3.39. And then he followed that up with 2 earned runs and then a ballooned 7 earned runs, so 3.75 on August 12th. And then he put up a 0, a 2, a 1, and then a 2. And that brought his ERA down at 3.36 on September 4th. And then he followed that up with 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, and then a 0. So he didn't finish on a consistently good basis. So he finished the season with a 3.59 ERA. So not that great. Not that great from a consistency point of view because he has that four losses right there. And then Severino, who was an interesting addition in the middle of the season, decided to put him in, and I thought he did pretty well. He finished the season with an 8-10 record with a 3.70 ERA. Let's go see what he did from July. So on July 27th, he gave up 6 earned runs, and that put his ERA at 4.25. And at this point, I was very unsure about him. I thought he would be a clunker and he wouldn't be reliable, but he seems to have done a lot better. So let's see what he did. On August 1st, he put up 2. Then he gave up 4 earned runs on August 7th. But then he followed that up with 2 1s. And then he followed that up with 4 earned runs on August 24th, making his ERA 4.09. But then he finished the season pretty well, starting on August 29th with 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 0, then 2, 2, 3, and then 2 earned runs, making his ERA 3.70. So not too bad from Severino. So he's going to remain in the rotation going forward, definitely. So until he does something to lose it, I'm going to keep him in there. So let's go back to my pen. So Roger McDowell. So I didn't make that many more changes with my pen. So in the last video you saw I put McDowell as my closer again. So he finished with a 3.36 ERA and 13 saves. So let's go take a look at him. Let's see. July 31st, gave up 1 earned run in an appearance, making his ERA 2.25. Then he followed that up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight zeros on through August 13th. That made his ERA 2.02. Then on August 14th, he ballooned his ERA to 2.92 with 5 earned runs. So that wasn't good. Then he followed up with 0, then a 3, then a 0, then a 2, then a 0, then a 1. Very inconsistent. But he only blew 2 saves in that span of time. So his last pattern of giving up runs was on September 1st. And that made his ERA 3.62. And then he followed that up with 4 zeros. And then he gave up another earned run on September 18th. That gave him a loss. Then he followed that up with 4 zeros. So he might start the season next year as the closer. Given his end of season performance, it was a lot better this time than previously. So we're going to stick with Mr. McDowell. So let's go back to our pitching. All right, back to the pen. Mr. Ottavino, 3.57 ERA, 58 innings. Let's see how well he did to close the year. Not terrible, not terrible. So he finished July. He had a big zero streak going from mid-June through August 12th. Yeah, all this right here. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 straight zeros through August 12th. That put his ERA at 2.70. Then he gave up an earned run on August 13th, followed by 2 zeros. Then an earned run, followed by 2 zeros. Then 3 earned runs on August 31st. So that made it 3.19. Made his ERA 3.19. Then he followed that up with 4 zeros, and then he gave up 2, then 1, then 0, then 1, then 2 on September 18th. Made his ERA 3.79, and he blew a save there. And he blew a save at some point. And then previously, right before that, what day is that? September 12th, he blew a save. So that's not good. And then he finished the season with 4 straight zeros. So 3.57. Not terrible. Not amazing. I would say somewhat decent, but not amazing. He didn't finish as strong as I would have preferred him to be. Now let's go to Danny Frisella, who ended the season with a 4.36 ERA. Ended up as a setup man for me because I had moved some folks down. Yeah, I had him here before in the last update. Let's go see what he did. So Danny Frisella on July 29th, he gave up a run, making his ERA 3.44. Then he put up 2 zeros, then a 2, then a 0, then a 1. On August 12th, followed by 2 zeros, then a 1, then 2 zeros, then a 1, then 2 zeros, and then 3. Noticing an inconsistent pattern here. So that was on September 13th, then a 0, then a 2, then 2 zeros, then a 2, then 3 zeros. So he finishes with a 4.36 ERA. Very inconsistent. Yeah, not a huge stretch of zeros that I would prefer to see. So I don't know what his role is going to be for the season moving forward. Then let's see, Orozco, middle reliever. He has a 4.45 ERA. And his game log, let's see, on July 29th, his ERA was 6. And between July 18th and August 12th, he put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. Then he gave up a run in an appearance on August 14th, making his ERA 5.44. His ERA is going down. Then he followed that up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 zeros in a row through September 21st. Making his ERA 4.02, 4.08, I mean. Then he gave up 2 earned runs, then 2 zeros, then 2. Then he put up 2 zeros, and then gave up 2 in his last game. So that made his ERA 4.45. So he was actually a lot better than... He actually brought his ERA down to 4.45. Since the end of July from 6, so not bad actually. I might move him back into the setup role for next year. So, all right, now we go to Brooks Raley, who kind of fell off, who was my closer. Finished with a 4.41 ERA. Then let's see what he did. End of July, he put up a 0, put up 3 zeros. Then on August 7th, he gave up 1, and then he gave up 4. That ballooned his ERA to 6.08. But then he followed that up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 straight zeros to end the season. And that made his ERA 4.41. So you can, so he went from 6.08 on August 12th to 4.41. On October 3rd, so you can, I guess you can infer from that however you want. Finished it strong, but that middle patch there is what put him in a big hole and made me not trust him. But maybe I was too harsh. I mean, now that I look at his entire line, maybe I was a little too harsh in taking him out of high level positioning, so he might be moved back up someplace important. I have to make that call. And then you'll find out later. Turk Wendell, in middle relief, he finished the season with a 5.52 ERA. Now, as you know, I had him as a specialist, but as you see, I have him as a middle relief. You can't see, but I have him as avoid high leverage because he was really giving up a lot. So let's go take a look. He had a really big drop off. So the end of July, gave up an earned run on July 26, making his ERA 3.51. Then he gave up 2 zeros, then 1, then a 0, then 3, then 3 zeros, then 2, 3, 2, 2. That was on September 6th. And then he gave up 4 zeros. So on September 6th, after that string of earned runs, his ERA was 5.71. Then he finished the season with 4 zeros, then a 2 earned runs, and then a 0. So that was 5.52 ERA, not too good. I'm not quite sure what to do with him, but I might start him out on the team next season and see if he sticks. So we'll see. So we'll see about Turk Wendell next season, how long he lasts. Now, Sean Manaea, my long reliever, 4.76 ERA. Not terrible. I don't have high expectations for my long reliever. So end of July, he had a 4.56 ERA. Then he gave up 4 earned runs on August 12th, then 1 on August 22nd. Then he put up a bunch of zeros until September 15th, when he gave up 1, then 3, and 3 straight appearances, followed by a 0, then a 4, and then 2 earned runs. So that made his ERA 4.86 on September 27th. Then he ended the season putting up 2 zeros. So, yeah, I don't know what to think about Sean Manaea. But I'll probably keep him as my long reliever for now. So that's how it's going to be with him. And then Jake Diekman, who was not great this season, finished with a 4.79 ERA. He is my specialist. Let's see what he did. So he was in a very big rough patch on July 28th. He had a 7.78 ERA. Put up 2 zeros, then he gave up 2. And then he had, he gave up 2 on August 6th. Then he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 straight appearances to end the season, putting up zeros. And he ended up with a 4.79 ERA, so he finished pretty strong. But I also kind of put him in avoid high leverage situations to get him out of that funk. And then I moved him back into the specialist role. So that's how he was able to kind of get to where he is. So I'll probably be making changes at some point, but we'll see. So those are my pitching, my pitching issues over there, and yeah, my pitching definitely came down to end the season. Not quite as strong as I would have wanted it to be. So now let's go to our lineup. Let's see the overview. So I finished the season with Nimmo leading off in center, then Marte in right. This is my right-handed lineup. Then Lindor batting third, short. Alonso in DH. Alvarez fifth as catcher. Dom Smith at first. McNeil batting seventh at second. Lenny Randle at third, batting eighth, and Cedeno in left. And then on versus lefties, Nimmo in right, Lenny Randle batting second and third at third base, Lindor at short batting third, Alonso batting fourth at first, McNeil batting fifth at second, Alvarez batting sixth at catcher, McEwing in left batting seventh, Mauricio in DH batting eighth, and Harrison Bader batting ninth in center. So interesting. So a lot of those people I had put in at the end of I had just put them in the previous update. So let's go see what the final stat line was. So we'll sort by average. Nimmo was very good for me. Had 3 homers, 19 RBIs, a 293 average. But he stole 5 and got caught 10 times. So I'm going to have to adjust his speed problems there. So that's the problem. Then Lindor was pretty good for me. Batted 276, 29 homers, 82 RBIs, 79 runs. And I should say I only had Nimmo for 53 games. So when we get a full season of Nimmo, maybe our offense will be much better than it was. So we'll see. Then I had Dom Smith. Oh yeah, Lindor had 18 stolen bases, 9 caught. Dom Smith was batting 252. Huge drop off, by the way, as you can notice, of my average from 276 to 252, with Dom Smith as my third best hitter, with 13 homers, 49 RBIs. And then I had McNeil with a 248 average, with 3 homers, 41 RBIs. He actually had 21 stolen bases, which is a lot more than I would have expected. And Marte with a 247 average, 9 homers, 41 RBIs, 18 stolen bases, and 14 caught. McEwing, 244, 6 homers, 28 RBIs, 4 caught, 4 stolen, 4 caught. Cedeno, 240 average, 1 homer, 42 RBIs. He had 60 runs, but he actually had 45 stolen bases and caught 15 times. So that's interesting. Then we had Alvarez, 236, 25 home runs, 59 RBIs. And, 236. And then we had Alonso, 38 homers, 99 RBIs. 234 average, so a very low average. And he struck out 158 times, which is crazy. And then Harrison Bader, 233, 8 homers, 36 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases, and 10 caught stealing. Lenny Randle, he only played 45 games, but he was 224 average with 3 homers, 18 RBIs. Lenny Randle, no expectations. He's there for defense mostly. Then Mauricio, 217 average, 13 homers, 48 RBIs. And then Duffy Dyer, also there only for defense. 177 average, 4 homers, 11 RBIs, 76 games played. So, yeah, my hitting is probably one of the major reasons why we did not get far in this season. When my 2 best averages are 293 and 276, and the next best is 252. It's going to be very, very hard to have consistency. So, yeah, pretty disappointing. But we're going to have a full season of Brandon Nimmo, and we'll see how that goes the next time. All right, well, my game cut off by a second, so that's why there's a little cut there. Might seem a little inconsistent. But anyway, now it's time to reveal my record and what happened at the end of the season. So now that you have heard my stat lines and you can probably figure out what it is by how I'm sounding. So I'm going to unhide the scores in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I actually finished the season 77 and 85. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. So let's see how I ended the season. So my final record was 77-85, 7 games back out of first. And then I was 17 games out of the wild card, so that's not good. But then if we go to the scheduled team stats, in July I was 13-13. In August I was headed into September 17-10. I thought I was going to have a pretty good September, and then I was 17-10, and I was a few games under 500. I think I was 1 game under 500 going into September, and then in September I finished 10-17. So combined end of season record 12-18, and that wasn't good. And I will show you my end of. So this is what it looked like. A lot of red. This was the team in first place, the Lancers, and I had a 4-game series, and I felt, hey, if I can get to this series and keep it close up to there, then I'm going to be in good shape. But I lost 3 here, and then I won, and then I gave up 1 here. Then I won. Then I had 4 straight losses here. And then here's a section. I didn't think I was going to do well against this team right here. And then the next 3 here because they had really good records. So, but then I lost 4 games straight to the team in my division. The what's it called? The Athens Armada. did a 4-game sweep on me and ended up passing me in the standings. I was in second place before, and I actually think I was going into September 3.5 games back, or it was either 3.5 or 4, so a terrible September for me. And so I miss out on the playoffs, and the Pelicans won the league. The team in my division got bounced in the conference series. And, yeah, that's how it went. And as far as my league, I'm sure you're wondering, the relegation, I'm right here. So I'm going to be in the Silver League next year. And, yeah, we're going to try it all over again and try to get to the Gold League. So, I use the Shea Stadium as my stadium this year, and I think I'm going to stick with it. And so, yep, I'm gonna just hope I do better next time and not have so much bad luck. And now that I have sort of a better idea of my rotation and the pitchers that I want, and I got Nimmo on the team, hopefully we'll do better. Now, as you can see, I got a gold glove from, I got a great glove bonus from Bader, and great bat from Alvarez as a catcher, and great bat from Lindor as a shortstop. Now, this was our first season with Lindor. He was really good, so hopefully he keeps it up next season. Hopefully I get some bounce back years from some of the other guys, because I'm not going to be getting any more help soon. Now, you see I've got 201 packs there, so I think it's going to be time for me to open it up, because this Syndergaard card right here, let me see if I can find it. Right here, I want that card. And as you can see, the price is pretty steep. 242,000, 260,000. So I'm going to try my shot at pulling that card. There's also a lot of other cards I can get to sell and make stuff and make some perfect points to stock up on. So I also need a lot of live cards anyway. So, and historicals to sell. So, yep, that's pretty much, I'm going to be, since I don't have a playoff update, this is the last update of 2027. And then the next video is going to be me opening 201 packs. If somehow I pull that Cinder card before I'm done, then I'm going to stop with those packs. But I'm going to put one episode of just opening 201 packs. So that should be fun. Watching pack openings, it can be boring, but, I've always found it to be fun to watch I always find it a lot more enjoyable than you would think. So 201 packs are going to be opened in the next episode as a standalone. So I need that help. That Syndergaard would help me a lot. So wish me luck, and I want to thank you for watching my 2027 season update. Conclusion: failed to make the playoffs. Disappointing. But, just gotta keep hoping that the baseball gods, the simulation gods, do us favors moving forward. So if you want to support me and my YouTube channel, you can like and subscribe. That would mean a lot. Help my channel here. If you really, 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 really want to support me, you can subscribe to my free newsletter over at gamereviewpad.substack.com. It's a digest video game newsletter, free, no charge, and there's one that should be coming out very, 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 very soon. that. So if you want to get all my updates, reviews, extra commentary, and want to help me out the most, you can subscribe for free to my Substack. That would mean a lot. Any case, yep, this is the end of season 2027. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Much appreciated.